Absolutely. You've actually given out what the street is watching out for, but let's just also keep in mind what the markets were unhappy with and what the markets have done since Budget 2024. If we can just move to the key 9 aspects which the markets had considered, which the Budget 2024 had considered, that will be key. Firstly, disappointed investors, as Neeraj also mentioned, however, rewarded some taxpayers, right? So that was one of the key focus areas. But there were 9 things that Nirmala Sitharaman actually looked at. One was productivity and resilience with regards to agriculture. So schemes with agriculture that were announced. Employment and skilling was their next focus area. Moving on, the others were in terms of inclusive HR development and social justice, manufacturing and services where PLI schemes were announced to some extent. Urban development was the other aspect, and energy security with renewables was one of the focus areas. Infrastructure, which is the crux, capex has been slowing down. What do they do from here on? Innovation R&D was again what they focused on as well. And very lastly, if you see in terms of next generation reforms. Now, whether all of this has actually helped markets or not, absolutely not. Nifty, a downtick of 5% since the previous budget, where you had broader markets which actually went ahead and underperformed as well to the tune of almost around 7 to 9.5%. So that's the mid cap and the small cap underperformance. Now, very interesting. The performance tells you that the markets were not happy because all your domestic oriented sectors were the ones which have underperformed. From energy to oil and gas, real estate, PSU banks and FMCG, down to the tune of almost around 11 to 21% from the previous budget to now. What has outperformed? It's your export-oriented sectors, Nifty IT, Nifty Pharma, up to the tune of almost around 3 to 6%. So you clearly know that it's the domestic policies which have not really been working for India Inc. It's the export-oriented ones. And similar is the trend if you see in terms of gainers and losers. From a TV slab to Wipro, Bajaj Finance, Holdings and a Bharti Airtel, gains to the tune of almost 12 to 26% that did come in. What was losing? Adani Green did lose out. Yes, there was a Hindenburg impact coming in there. But you had a BHEL, IndusInd Bank, Tata Motors, JSW Energy, all in the range of around 30 to 36%, which were under pressure. Let's look at the broader markets. If you see Nifty 500, you have 366 stocks that have actually given negative returns since the previous budget out of Nifty 500. So that tells you the quantum of underperformance that has come in there. And if you talk about the mid-cap companies, BSE actually is outperformed with gains of nearly 2.3 times. But Lloyds Metal, Paytm, Coforge, Dixon, these are the ones which were losing to the tune of around 30 to 75%, gaining, I beg your pardon, to the tune of 30 to 75%. Whereas names like Cochin Shipyard, Vodafone Idea, MRPL, SJVN, Exide Industries, all down in the range of around 35 to 45%. Small caps, you have Amber Enterprises, Piramal, KFin Tech, Aster, DM, MCX, all up in the range of 40 to 50%. Whereas if you see in terms of the losers, if you can have that slide, there you go. Honasa, Sterling, Chennai Petro, Tanla, Jupiter, these were the names which were losing out. So that's in terms of the performance, but let's also look at a few of the other reasons which impacted the markets. You had the largest ever FI sell-off that came in to the tune of almost around 2.7 lakh crore. Secondly, you have analysts who have gone ahead and cut estimates as well with regards to earnings for FY25 and 26. Apart from that, if you talk about the geopolitical concerns, they have been looming on the domestic markets. And very lastly, if you see in terms of the election year, that has seen lower government spends, culminating to overall the rate cut delays that have happened amidst the global easing. So these have been factors also that have impacted markets apart from the budget, but this has been the overall performance from 2024 to now.